Now, what would you say to those who feel like putting out an excessive amount of variants is just a cash grab?
I know a lot of people saying cash grab.
All right, guys, GemMint here. We got the co-creator of Ninja Funk on the line. All right, JPG, now that we got you in the hot seat, before we get into the Ninja Funk stuff, tell us a little bit about That Spider-Man Booth and Street Level Hero.
All right, so That Spider-Man Booth I started in 2011, and I wanted to be different from all the other retailers, so it started with the name. I wanted to see if the other retailers and the other people in the industry would promote us without them knowing, so I named it That Spider-Man Booth, and it worked instantly. All the retailers were like, oh, go to That Spider-Man Booth. And Street Level Hero is the fashion brand that we had. Through That Spider-Man Booth, I would design clothes. I love clothes, so I would design clothes. I'd put it at the booth, and they got such a good reaction, so we made a whole company and fashion line out of it.
Let's talk about Ninja Funk. Who created Ninja Funk? It was you, but you had some other help as well.
Yeah, so the co-creator, Steve Shuett, was really a music project first. I have a DJ background. I was DJing for a long time, and so we would get together, kind of run these gigs. We got fairly popular locally, and then Steve, the whole time as we were making music, would always joke around, let's make a comic book, let's make a comic book. And he knows my background, that I actually graduated with illustration and art and storyboarding. And he knows that I'm in the comic book industry, so he would always joke around and say, let's do it, let's do it. And then actually during COVID, he actually wrote a whole storyline without really, he just wrote a whole comic book. I was like, oh man, this guy's serious. And since we had all our skills and how we wanted to do it, I think it was time. And shout out to Whatnot for believing in us.
And if I recall, because we were working closely together, your book, the Ninja Funk book, was supposed to be the first book out.
It still is. So Alpha Beta has preceded it in release date, but Ninja Funk was always supposed to be the first original Whatnot comic book. So Alpha Beta's is a licensed project, very cool YouTube show. But it still followed the format of Ninja Funk being the first original content for Whatnot Publishing.
How has music influenced the story of Ninja Funk?
The whole basis is that the universe is off key. And so when something's off key, it kills the vibe. So in our storyline, it's actually killing life itself. And so our heroes are trying to bring the universe back to true harmony.
Who did you guys tap for the interior, the artwork on Ninja Funk?
Alex Regal, shout out Alex Regal. We did an extensive search. I was going through dozens and dozens of artists, and Alex Regal stood above the rest as far as being different. The dynamic poses and emotions that he brings. He was really meant to be the Ninja Funk artist.
I was going to talk about Kevin Eastman a little bit, because I always felt like the Ninja Funk art style had like that early Eastman vibe. Like it feels like early Turtles almost to me. I don't know if you ever felt that connection.
Yeah, no, Turtles is a huge influence on Ninja Funk just because it's so different. They basically created their own world, like where we believe turtles are roaming the streets. If you can believe a TV head is talking or a cat is talking, that's really, they kind of set the standard for the unbelievable to be believable.
And speaking of art, you guys have to have the record for the most variant covers in existence, at least for like a 4-issue miniseries. Is that true? Do you guys have the most variants per comic?
I'm not sure if someone's keeping track of that, but that would be an awesome thing to have. I'm a variant guy. I love variants. I love how artists portray the same characters differently. So if that's true, I would be really proud of that.
Do you know exactly how many variants were produced for Ninja Funk?
I don't. I try not to keep stats or look at numbers. I just work. The only thing I try and do is work all day and put everything I can into this Ninja Funk project.
Now, what would you say to those who feel like putting out an excessive amount of variants is just a cash grab?
I know a lot of people saying cash grab, the variants, but I was one of the people that loved all the variants. I collected all of them. So for me, it's a passion project to have a lot of variants and different versions of how the artists represent the characters. I love it.
No, I'm kind of a sucker for that too. And I'm a sucker for homage covers, which we happen to do a lot, right? Even Ninja Funk has a lot of homages. And I like what you said. It's almost like, yeah, I want to see the character that I created that's named after me looking like Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man #1. Like, who doesn't want to see that for your own creation? And speaking of that, The character JPG McFly is named after you. So the other characters, they're named after the other creators as well?
Yes, Laser Wolf is named after Steven. It's actually his DJ name, and JPG McFly is actually my DJ name. And so Wolfgang is actually my cat. We would always just put him in videos. So he's kind of like a member of the team just because he's been with us basically as long as Ninja Funk has been around.
So Ninja Funk was a 4-issue miniseries. Now we've got the one-shot Bolo's Playground, and that's FOC right now. You can request it from your local comic shop.
The whole thing with Ninja Funk Bolo's Playground is that we're not trying to make it a Ninja Funk key issue. We're trying to make it a key issue in the comic book universe, period. We've tried to pull all stops for this issue, so we really hope you guys pick it up and enjoy it.
All right, so after Bolo's Playground, the one-shot comes out, what's next? What's the future of Ninja Funk hold?
We actually have our first 25 issues mapped out, outlined, and we actually have written all the way up to issue 14.
Okay, so you guys are nowhere near being done.
No, you know, we've been doing Ninja Funk as far as music over a decade, and this comic book, I'll be doing it. Hopefully Ninja Funk goes on till after I transition to the next world. This is a lifelong project for us.
All right, JPG, thank you so much for coming through and giving us this scoop on what's going on with Ninja Funk, man. You guys stay minty fresh.
A whole new way found. Shout out all who stay down. Feel the vibe like a high when we chase sound. Okay, intergalactic. Space and time, the portal is active. You ain't funkin' with us, your vibe is tragic. You're anticlimactic. They fiend for the talent, call up the plug. The dealer of gadgets, the frequency's balanced. Or am I tripping while sipping this tea like a malice? The rhythm's established, and BB gotta be safe cause we know she the baddest. It was known as a savage, teamed up with ninjas, now we serving up damage.